Hello everyone. Today we're going to demonstrate our version of varnishing a painting. And the painting is by Jen Starling. Beautiful painting of a skull that she's done in recent times. And we are going to put a glaze on it because it's not varnish that we're using. We're using this product, Winsor Newton Liquin, which is thinned out about 50%, 50-50 roughly, in this jar. You can see this. And we'll apply it with a little house painting brush. It's thin because you get a much more even coverage that way. And it helps prevent getting the thing too glossy, which is an annoying thing in art, as far as I'm concerned.
It's thinned out with Gamsol or turp of any sort.
Mm-hmm. Mineral spirits, yes. And it's, what was I saying? The reason that I much prefer to use this product is, rather than varnish, is with varnish you're locked out. It's very difficult, if possible, to remove it. You cannot paint over varnish, at least not the varnishes that I'm aware of. There could be newer products that allow that, but I'm not familiar with them. I have been using this Winsor Newton Liquin for probably, I don't want to tell you how long, but longer than a lot of you have been alive. And I've never had it yellow or crack or have any defects. And it does say on the specs that it's non-yellowing, and it's true. And it was vetted for me by the artist Wilson Hurley, who recommended it. He said, this stuff doesn't yellow. And I have not seen it yellow. And I know that Winsor Newton representatives wouldn't agree with me on this, but as an artist, I want to be able to go in and continue work on a painting till the day I die, because a painting's never finished. It's never finished. It's just the best you could do at that time. And so I will, that is my entire reason for using a product that you can paint over. And yet it looks exactly like varnish when it's applied properly.
That being said, there are many people who will disagree and caution against using liquid as a varnish. So just so you know, this is just coming from Dan's ideas, thoughts, and most importantly, his experience.
Yeah, opinions.
So that's
and
the disclaimer.
Incidentally, we don't have any sponsorship from any art supply companies at all. I also use Liquin Impasto, but certainly not for glazing. It's to accelerate the drying of paint and kind of make it a little bit more workable, especially really thick colors like earth colors. I stirred in with a palette knife very thoroughly. It's important. You can't just halfway mix it for it to perform properly. And it's got its own separate uses. So we'll now just put a few blobs of Liquin on here, and then Jen will complete the task. So this is just kind of evenly distributed. Well, it's poorly distributed, but Jen's going to distribute it correctly.
Look who's behind the camera.
Look who's behind the camera. It's Jen Starling, and she will varnish her own painting now. Varnish, it's glaze, it's the right word.
I always say Liquin varnish is what I call it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to the edge. I'm just paranoid about picking up dirt. Do you want to walk around so we can?
Okay, stop right there for a second, Jen. Okay, you can see it from this angle how much good that has done to bring out the richness of the paint. In fact, what you'll see happens is that when, as you surely know, your dark colors get lighter. Your light colors stay about the same. So what we're really doing here is making those darks like they originally were when they came out of the tube, is the day it was painted. They lighten up overnight practically.
You poured the perfect amount on.
Okay. Then now she's doing
Cross-hatching.
Yep, cross-hatching, you could say, to get that distributed as evenly as possible.
And this isn't a fancy brush. It's relatively thin. There's not a lot of layers of bristles, but it's soft and synthetic. Looks pretty well covered.
You know, it's a mixture that you kind of have to experiment for yourself, but I recommend it's approximately 50-50. A thing, though, is that to keep in mind is that in the jar, Liquin thickens up over time as you've used up, you know, the product. Then there's more air in the bottle with the lesser amount of the oil painting medium, Liquin, and so it would require more thinning over time. It makes a big difference in the appearance of your painting. It's well worth taking the time to do it. Take a bow. Okay, there's the varnished glazed work, and tilt it, flatten it a little bit, Jen, so we can see how, and then tip it this way and that, and we can see that it's thoroughly covered. You need to see it against the backlight in order to know if you've really got complete coverage, and so tip it up for us, please, and thank you. And we can see that the painting is it got its intended luster restored.